really some hateful sentiments towards our undocumented population, referring to them as vermin, saying they wanted them to leave the country to lower their taxes.
Alderman Andre Vasquez says he first received the call from Chicago police Sunday evening. When he arrived at his 40th Ward office on Northwestern Avenue, police were still on the scene. Video shows the alderman speaking with investigators. Vasquez says the threatening note was taped to the door.
When you work in a government office, you tend to get complaints, varying degrees of escalation. This is definitely something that's been unprecedented.
Vasquez acknowledging the current political climate, saying he and CPD take this threat seriously, but that this incident puts into perspective the fear that undocumented immigrants are facing right now in their daily lives.
I think about the folks out here who are undocumented and scared to go outside and even get their groceries because federal agents are everywhere.
Adam Davila was in the neighborhood for an appointment. Born and raised in Chicago, he says threats like this one are counterproductive.
These kind of things aren't helping. They're just making it worse.
Instead, Davila and the alderman believe the power of community is the key to fostering connection and understanding.
Let's start helping each other. Let's, give it a hand to the neighbor and stuff, People don't do those type of things anymore, and that's why society and people are the way they are now.
Right now, everyone's left to their own devices, literally. Their algorithms reinforcing whatever biases they have, as opposed to talking to neighbors they may not agree with, and really being able to identify how we all have a shared community we can benefit from.
In the meantime, Alderman Vasquez says the 40th Ward office remains open and they're working with Chicago police to investigate the incident.
Immigrant message were left outside his North Side office.
WGN's Sean Lewis spoke to that alderman, joins us now with more on what happened.
Well, good evening. Even though Chicago police were called here on Sunday evening, it is likely that that rat and note were left here earlier in the weekend. Regardless, the alderperson of the 40th Ward is calling for cool voices to prevail. Just a few steps north of Bryn Mawr on Western, Chicago police are investigating a sign of our divided times. We blurred slightly this picture of the dead rat and the note left at the door of the 40th Ward office.
This act is unacceptable.
Alderperson Andre Vasquez, an outspoken supporter of Chicago's welcoming city status, calls the note, which compares immigrants to vermin and expressed support for ICE, a rarity.
I think that the person who wrote it is likely a descendant of immigrants and maybe hasn't thought about their own story. Most of the community, most of the neighbors are actually completely opposite of what was expressed in that letter. They have been reaching out to us with an outpouring of support because they know that we're Chicagoans first.
That includes this man.
I just think those kind of negative signs have to be countered by positive signs.
His signs are roses and a monarch butterfly left at the door.
The monarch butterfly migrates between the Americas. It crosses borders, it benefits both countries, and it works to our natural beauty and our functionability.
His hope is that through talking, society will function better.
How do you talk to them? That's a challenge. We're angry, we're not calming down. It seems like we're amping up all sides. I would like to see these lessen the violence and maybe cause people to sit down and have a coffee and think about what we should be doing, because this is a bad time.
A time that Vasquez says likely means stepped up security measures and cameras at the office as he encourages people to reach out and communicate with one another.
And I know what my parents did to come here. And so, I'm American, but I'm Chicagoan first. And we stand up, we rise up, and we're shoulder to shoulder. And there was way more of us that feel that way than the people who are afraid. And to those that are afraid, just talk to somebody. Have somebody listen to why you're feeling frustrated, because I understand that sentiment as well. There's just better ways to express it.
And Chicago police say that a nearby security camera did capture something that they might be able to use in their investigation. If you have any information, you are being asked to give them a call. On the Northwest side.
Well, someone left a dead rat, I know, disgusting, outside a Chicago alderman's office. And this was apparently in response to ICE detentions happening in Chicago. Fox 32's Joni Lum reports.
A rat at the door might not be the most uncommon thing in Chicago, but there was a note threatening in nature, and it's all under investigation. Someone spotted the dead rat on the sidewalk on busy Western Avenue. It looked placed there. They called police. 40th Ward Alderman Andre Vasquez is checking the security system of his North Side Ward office and talking to neighbors about what was found there. Police alerted him a dead rat was at the door with a note comparing undocumented immigrants to vermin. It read, "Support ICE."
I mean, for somebody to take the time to do something like that, you've got to take it seriously. So it's why we made sure to follow up with CPD, make sure we're taking extra precautions, want to make sure that the staff is safe.
Tension and anxiety is increasing now that ICE activity is elevated. Alderman Vasquez says threats of any kind around September 16th, Mexican Independence Day, won't ruin the community's celebrations of culture and heritage.
The activity is unacceptable. We have a lot of people afraid in general when you've got ICE here. And so we just want to make sure that people understand that we're government. We're going to continue to do our job. We're going to make sure we're serving our neighbors. And as the chair of the Committee on Immigrant and Refugee Rights, we're still going to do everything possible to make sure we protect all of our neighbors.
Alderman Vasquez said the threat did not seem directly aimed at him, but targeted a group of people. And so he is urging police to call this a hate crime.